The clock is ticking towards Wednesday's deadline to file your 2024 income taxes. A new survey finds 3/4 of Gen Z Canadians are planning to invest their tax returns this year, but many say they don't understand how a TFSA works, with some tips to help you on long-term tax-free growth opportunities. With your TFSA, which is also known as a tax-free savings account, we are joined by Janet Gray of Money Coaches Canada. Good morning, Janet.
Morning, Rosie.
Good morning. Okay, what is a tax-free savings account? First, explain what that is.
Yeah, so it's kind of simply what it says. It's you save or you invest, either one, in this account, and any earnings that this account has is going to be tax-free to you. So it doesn't matter how much it earns, how much it loses, but mostly how much it earns. You'll never be taxed on that amount when you withdraw it.
Okay, and then where does one set up a TFSA? How does that work?
Most institutions, most financial institutions will have them. Your banks, your investment companies, they've been around now for almost 15 years, 2009. No, not doing the math right, but it's available almost anywhere that you invest your money or want to save your money.
Okay, so you can just wait if you can walk into your bank and say you want to start a TFSA,
Absolutely.
and someone should be able to
Absolutely.
help you with that. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's say you are starting this year. I mean, how much can you contribute to this TFSA? What's the max yearly, and what would the total be for like right now?
Yeah. So it depends on your age. If you were 18 this year, you would have this year's amount, which is $7,000. If you were 18 last year, you would have the $7,000 from last year plus $7,000 this year. So it's kind of a rolling cumulative effect depending on when you turned 18. It's not available to anyone under 18, but
Okay.
available to everyone over 18. If you had never opened a TFSA and you were 18 in 2009 when the first TFSA opened, you would have $102,000 of room that has accumulated to this year.
Tax free.
Tax free.
Exactly. So if you put in this money, like you said, this year you're allowed $7,000 to put into your TFSA, and then hey, if it grows, you're not going to be taxed on it. Okay. So what are some tips about growing this TFSA?
Yeah, it really depends on what your goal is. Some people will put that money in there to buy their first car or towards their home or an emergency fund. So the investment that you choose or this type of savings that you choose inside it will really depend on how you want that money to eventually be used. So it's open anywhere from like cash, bonds, GICs, stocks. So any combination of those things. So it's really a good discussion to have with your investment advisor or your banker once you tell them what your needs will be for that money.
Okay, so I'm wondering, Janet, is a tax-free savings account, should you approach it like a savings account, or should you approach it like an investment entity where, if it grows, you're not going to have to worry about paying taxes on that growth?
Absolutely, you can do both. I mean,
Okay.
the full benefit of it is the more it earns, and you're not paying tax on what potentially could be a higher taxation outside of a TFSA. So of course, if you have it in stocks that are going to produce a lot of growth, then you will reap probably more benefit than if you put it into cash and earn very little.
What would you tell young people who are looking at taking their tax return and starting up a TFSA? What is the best approach for somebody quite young, like under 30 years old? What's the best approach in your opinion?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's no harm to do it. I wouldn't want people to have too many tax-free savings accounts because then you lose kind of count of them and where they are maybe. So most people could even have two, one for short-term money, I'll need it in the next year maybe, and one for longer-term money. So you can kind of run them side by side. They might have different investments in each of them, but it's a lot easier to take care of a short-term TFSA and a longer-term TFSA.
Money and wealth coach Janet Gray giving us the ins and outs of a TFSA on our Money Monday. Thank you so much, Janet. Great to see you.
Thank you. You too.